So I thought for this film I would record it where it was painted. So here I am, this is me on my deck chair, and this is my sketchbook. Well, I painted all of these here. Some are from observation, some are from memory. Sounds odd, but I think it'll all come to pass. You can see I've used acrylic, pencil, oil pastel for these, and a lot you can see they're from observation. But here we start seeing some of the memory stuff. Ian Farr's memory documents of contemporary art. This is Bourth Church. Not that particularly religious, but I did like the carol service pre-COVID, of course. We have wonderful sunsets on the beach, and of course we have our stormy days. Some of these places I can't reach anymore because of my disabilities, so I suppose here I just imagine myself being there. This is one particularly, this is from up on the coastal path. The ones from the coastal path are different to these contemporary ones. This is now, and this is how I feel, I suppose, about now. But they're all really twee, all my memories are really twee. Maybe that says more about what memory does. So I'm trying to capture the sea, memories, and process, I suppose. So a lot of the processes change. A lot of this is finger painted or rubbed in with a finger. Some of it's printed with just objects that I find. Used an acrylic palette a lot of the time, as you can see. See how the memories look completely different to the contemporary looking and feeling. This is imagining what it's like to be trapped inside when I can't come outside at all. That's through the window. This on the coastal path. Never get down those steps again. And different views. Both has many different views, very many different layers. Or the coastal path. I think this appeared in my Mocha Hanger print, but I had Crumpus in it. And of course he can't come anymore because he got run over by the tourists, so at the beginning of this year. All looking through the windows and different slices. I think at this stage, I mean, these are the sunsets. Sunsets here are marvellous in Bourth. Worth seeing. This is me playing with composition, and I think I must have been reading about Manet when I did this one, because that's Manet's sort of blob from the gardens. I don't know if it works particularly in this composition, but there it is. More sunsets. This is in this last. I used to take the kids down here and roll down the sand dunes here. That was a long time ago. I'm starting now to look at textures and patterns, and a lot of Bourth beach sand finds its way in, and these textures are from matting. Just pressed into the page. This is the boardwalk at Innislas. More textures. This is sunset, but put in textural forms and broken. This became one of the plates for printmaking, and again I'm still sectioning up now. I don't know why I'm doing that, but maybe it's me compartmentalising. What I've done with all the sketchbooks is I leave blank pages because I might want to revisit it, and I quite like that. I like coming back to a blank page and putting something in. Obviously thinking about clouds here. I had a think about Van Gogh clouds in first year. I think I've moved away from that a bit. This is me, I suppose, channeling my inner Kurt Jackson. I really liked his online exhibition, and it was great being able to ask him questions about his process, which was fascinating. So that was good. More textures. This is little dovey, again, not likely to get there again. Something's obviously happening in the clouds here. These are the tide markers. I'm going to show you a tide marker. There's a tide marker there. when the waves come over the tide marker, then the village is flooded. So again, more of the Dovey Estuary, more of the wild clouds. I think this was the first time I pasted into this sketchbook, which was really odd because it was some sort of Scottish stone carving that I'd seen in a magazine and that cut out. Don't know what went through my mind there and why I brought it outside to do that, but I did. Probably foreshadowing of more collage. Rain on the estuary. This is the first one of the studies where it went to the day and night stuff. So this was 7:30 in the morning, and the sea was this strange colour. It really was. It was tropical maritime air, and we had a blue sky morning, and then this strange creamy coloured sea with like a red undertone, which turned out to be seaweed that had been washed ashore, or eventually would be washed ashore. More collage. This is from love hearts, which I often give to my clients if they're having a bit of a do and they need sugar. But really, it's talking about the ant people, the tourists, and litter. But the love arts are actually happy because really tourism, wherever you go, has two sides to it. It has the not very good environmental side, but then the happy side of people being on their holidays. So that's what that's about. Splitting up the beach again into the pebbles. I'm always trying to find ways of describing the pebbles. And then this is the next bit. This is 8:45 on the day I did this plein air during the tropical maritime air, and you can see that it's changing. It's actually changing now, and it changed dramatically. So this is 9:30 in the morning, and the waves are picking up, and the sea colours are changing. This is all in one morning. It was extraordinary, really, to document that change. And here it is again. The swell had dropped down, but the colours had changed, and now I think you can see the initial painting ideas that came for the dark sun and the day moon. I think this is now bordering into twee again, but I'm obviously experimenting with my pebbles. This is interesting. This is contrails. So quite often I sit here and I watch the boys and girls in the office, in the aeroplanes up above, and think about where they're going. I watch them on the flight tracker as well, so I can actually see where they're going. So that's contrails. Like frothy seas. Yeah, blown away. More contrails on today. This is a favourite actually. I really like this one. I don't know why, but I like the compositional elements of it, and I really like the colours. And I'm using both palette on this one that I made. I really like that one. Obviously, I'm moving onto the Wild Beast palette, the Fauvism palette, just using three colours on this, and then obviously everything else is mixed. And it's the printer's palette, I suppose, of cyan, yellow and magenta. This one actually went on to be a surrealism aquatint print, where I've changed things. I made the waves the wrong way, the shadows were wrong. I put everything back to front, which I really enjoyed. It was great. More of the faux. Obviously I'm splitting things up. This is obviously from the window, but obviously it's changing. And these sharp points, I'm really interested in that. So that's very much happening now. Some of the plant life that's on my beach garden. My beach garden's here and just through the gate. And the one through the gate was obviously covered in water during the storms. I mean, when I say covered in water, a tidal wave would be better to describe it. This is the view split up through the anti-tourist barrier. Anti-tourist barrier. Not much of an anti-tourist barrier, is it? Obviously the storms are coming here, and obviously I can't resist the printing, can I? So this is just a piece of tissue, and then I've printed from the previous faux colour palette, and then I've just put it on with some acrylic medium. I really like this. Really great. More seas, stormy seas coming. And then this is really quite modern now. We're getting sort of into post the storm. And this is actually the beach garden. So this is like a foam shape made into a flower. And the pebbles, obviously the water covering the garden, that's what that's talking about. And I think this is the last one, which is getting a bit more of that. But also it's with a wrapper, because we was deluged with tourists over Christmas and New Year. So I'm talking to you on the 2nd of January. And obviously it's all time for litter. There you go.